christiangeekcentral.com.
You have a trash in here?
I do, but it's way over here. You need, like, something to spit in?
Mm-hmm. My gum.
Okay.
You're gonna touch it?
That's fine. I'm not touching the gum part. Well, it's all covered. So.
That was very uncharacteristic of you. I feel a little bit more love right now.
I have to pretend that I love you more than I do because we're on a live stream.
I bought the first 4 books in that series that you were eyeballing that I was reading. I have the first 4, and the 5th one is the one that just came out in September. If you ever decide you want to try them.
Yeah, I might kind of quiz you on when. I mean, it's a trilogy?
No.
Longer?
Did you hear what I said? I don't think you were listening to me.
I cannot multitask. Listen.
Then why did I come here and hang out with you?
Because when I am able to process, just you're being helpful. Just trust that.
Okay. So I said I have the first 4 books, so that's not a trilogy.
Okay.
The 5th one came out in September.
She's the smartest of the siblings.
And the last one comes out next year. So that would be...
So Dad was originally going to sit with me for the last 2 hours.
Why didn't he?
Because he didn't realize it was on a Sunday morning. And he's got like music stuff he has to do at the church. That would have been cool though to sit down with him during like the most jacked up horror game that I have.
That's what I was gonna say. I could just picture that. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. He did go see a long time ago the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with me.
Did he?
Yes. And I think at the time he was like equally interested in seeing it. What was funny is that Dad and I both have the same, I think, personality quirk that, like, when we get really scared or just, like, shocked by something crazy messed up, we laugh. And so we're watching this jacked up horror movie in the theater, and we are both laughing, and people probably thought that we were the most disturbed people in the world. But we were actually seriously uncomfortable and freaked out.
I was going to say uncomfortable is the right word.
Yes, yeah.
That is something that Dad and I and you do when we are uncomfortable.
Francisca says, by the way, nice job beating Super Mario Brothers. I told the chat earlier that both of my sisters have beaten Super Mario Brothers, and I never have.
Yeah.
And Francisco confessed that he's never beaten the first one either.
Yeah.
So we're both very impressed. So what are you going to do after this?
Go home and go to bed. Not play video games all night.
Man, that sounds like a great plan to me right now.
How's running going?
It's going. The pattern is developing. Right now,
How many days a week?
Like every night that I don't have an excuse not to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
all right.
You don't like competition. If we go run a 5K together, we are cooperatively working towards the same goal. My goal is to get you to admit that you're going to do it on film. So that
that's not going to happen.
These people will hold you to it.
Either of you have Fitbits?
Yes. I have one.
Oh, my boy. Good night. I wish I could curl up and sleep with you right now. I want to go sleep with you. That's what I want to do. I want to go sleep with you right now. I'm already getting sleepy. Oh, is Auntie Corinne getting you? You sleep good, okay?
Okay.
Nothing for Auntie Corinne.
Good night.
Something like a Fitbit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine I got for free from work when I had to go and, like, every year for your insurance you have to go get...
Oh, jeez! I'm sorry, did I scare you?
You scared me.
I'm so sorry.
More than that did.
Oh my gosh.
5 miles.
You can't talk yet.
So I guess if... What do you mean I can't talk yet?
I mean, you can talk, I guess. Okay, let's go to the store and buy some new clothes, maybe.
This sounds like a really fun game. But I don't know what TTTTT title is.
Title. Like Chia. It probably stands for something that cool people know about. You're not playing Fallout 4. That's thank you. Oh, TTTT. Timing trim title timer.
What does that mean?
It means I'm supposed to change my game title here. Oh, okay, we gotta get in the car and drive right now! I turned the music down that plays when you drive around. There's a radio playing.
You're shouting.
No, I know. I'm trying to talk over the music because it's.
You and I have headphones on.
I know, but listen.
You need to talk.
Listen, let me explain myself. It's licensed music. If the little scanner on YouTube detects licensed music,
So you have.
then it's gonna it's gonna say bad, like put a mark against this stream or something like that. And when I tested the audio level, it was always with the car running. And so suddenly I could really clearly hear this rap music, and I was like, oh, I gotta start making noise right now. We gotta go before my stream
So you're
gets
just
shut
gonna
off.
yell at me for the rest of the
That's
night
right,
while
yeah.
you're playing this?
No, it's
sounds
fine because the
great.
engine's running now. All right, potty break. I'll be right
Am I
back.
supposed to go potty too?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Should I stay here and tell secrets
You
about you?
can do whatever you want.
Does anyone want to know any secrets about Pater? You got to ask me a question because I can't think of something. Something silly he is afraid of. I don't know something silly he's afraid of. But Pater did sleepwalk all the time when we were growing up, and this is a great story. He one night sleptwalked, and in the morning we woke up, and the TV and the entire entertainment system was removed from my parents' big, shelf system that had all of the electronics on there. It had been removed and put in the living room. It was all spread out, and it took him and my dad both to be able to lift the TV, because that was back when TVs were huge and heavy, to get it back in the shelf. And so we always said he was Superman in his sleep. He had superpowers in his sleep because he was able to do all that on his own. Another time I ran into him petting the cupboard, and I don't remember what he was saying, but he was sleepwalking then too. So I think he has outgrown that. I don't think he's afraid. He's afraid of everything.
Speaking of superpowers,
You're afraid of
time
everything.
for a costume
A
change.
costume change.
Yeah.
You change your shirt?
Yeah. No, it's become kind of a tradition to wear a new shirt when I do Extra Life. And this year I had two new shirts. One was the Christian Geek Central one that I just had on, and this is one of the new Spirit Blade shirts. So you were telling me sleepwalking?
Yeah, well, and he was asking something silly you were afraid of, and I said you're afraid of everything.
Everything.
So I don't really know anything silly.
Anything that's like, that gets into the territory of the unknown. Yeah, I'm afraid of everything. It's fear of the unknown. For as long as I can remember, I've had great fear of the unknown. When I was a kid, do you remember that book that we had that like had some basic Bible stories in it and some pictures? I'll always remember in the recesses of my mind the picture that it had for like the story of creation, and it like started out, in the beginning was nothing, and da 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 da, and it showed this dark picture of space and stuff, and I think that always creeped me out. Just thinking about this complete nothingness and this complete unknown. For many years, I didn't recognize the relationship between my fear of the unknown and my fear of eternity. I have what I would call an irrational fear of eternity.
You know what's funny? Corey's first exposure to you.
Corey Grancy?
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go.
He remembers, I can't remember if it was high school group or college group, but he remembers you going around asking everybody, are you afraid of getting bored in heaven?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That sounds like
he
me.
He was like, what?
That sounds right, yeah.
He was just, and I remember, I was like, yeah, he had some issues for a while there with the concept of eternity. And
Yeah.
it's like, I remember that.
Yeah. It seriously freaked me out when I spent any time thinking about it. And still now when I'm tired and I think about it, I'm like, it's too much to wrap my head around, and I kind of get weirded out.
I think it's that way for anyone if you're tired and you're thinking about things too much.
Yeah.
Anything that that makes you slightly anxious or afraid gets blown out of proportion when you're tired.
Yeah. The way I work my mind around it now, the reason I recognize it as irrational is I just think to myself, okay, well, it's going to last for eternity, but at the same time, I'm going to be in the presence of an infinite good and perfect God. So his eternal capacity for bringing me fulfillment and allowing me to do what I'm made to do is equal, more than equal, to the task, you could argue, of lasting for eternity and filling that gap, that hole, But I mean, my fear of the unknown also manifests itself in the fear of bugs and a fear, not so much a fear of the dark, but just a fear of what.
I don't know. I think if you were in the dark and you couldn't see what was
that's
coming.
That's true. But I guess
a lot of unknown in the dark.
That's true. I guess if I was in a place that I'm not familiar with in the dark, like I can walk around in our house in the dark.
I have trouble with that.
Really?
And I think, I don't know, that might be related to living in Africa.
Oh, okay.
I just was so afraid of stepping on some bug or something that, so I always walked around with a flashlight.
What games do you like, Corinne?
I don't really play a lot of games anymore, but I loved Earthbound.
On Super Nintendo, yeah.
Yes. I liked Chrono Trigger, and they made an app of it, so I have it on my phone.
Yeah,
I don't play anything recent, and that's because I have kids.
Oh, I'm not on a bathroom break. I'm not on a bathroom break. Dang it! Dang it, it was up that whole time! Gosh, can you just stay here and talk to me all night? I think I could stay up if I just, had, a vegetable growing game on that I could while I sit and talk to you.
You have a vegetable growing
I do. I've got that Avatar
know.
Farm game.
I know.
I could put that on.
I played it, and I was like, you actually want to spend time playing this?
Gosh. But,
do you remember the Barbie Nintendo game that I had?
Oh my gosh, yes. And there was a mermaid level, wasn't there?
That would be really fun to play right now.
Oh my gosh.
If you find that, I will come and I will play that.
Okay, we gotta research, we gotta Google how much that is on Amazon. I tried some of that game, because at that time, I was looking for any game I could be good at. Any game I could see to the end. I don't want to do that. Can I skip this? Can I skip? I just want to play the game.
Do you really have to ask that question when you see the word skip there?
Have you been playing video games for over 12 hours? I will tell you what I told Titus.
Okay.
And that is that I wish I could curl up and sleep with you right now. Oh. Good night.
Good night.
Passed up again.
Oh, yeah, hey. Your Auntie Corinne's here if you want to sing an intro.
I want to. Good night.
What? Why is she blonde?
Yeah.
No, she just had shiny hair. She is a salon girl. Vidal Sassoon.
Who's that?
I don't know, that's a brand, isn't it? Of shampoo type stuff? Was there a square button over here?
I was looking at the dead person hanging or whatever. Roar. Do you remember that show?
Oh my gosh, with Heath Ledger.
Yes.
That's got to be some kind of collector's item now, wouldn't you think? Or maybe they would have struck while the iron was hot after he died.
And it was interesting the amount of the discussions you could get out of it on the history of Scripture.
Oh,
because
okay.
Of how much it brought into it.
Have you ever had a crisis of faith, like if your ship crashes and you are stranded? I've never had anything intense enough that I would call a crisis of faith. The closest thing would be, high school, maybe not in college. I can't remember when. It was somewhere around that stage of life, those kind of formative years, when I would run into these things about Scripture that would kind of make me think, oh my gosh, I have suddenly discovered what everyone else has missed. The Bible is full of crap, And so I would have these little kind of mini crises of faith. And then I would talk to people about them, and thankfully they didn't tell me to, you just got to have faith, Peter, you just got to have faith, and that's the story of a lot of people, and that's how their faith dies, But thankfully we went to a church that didn't do that, and they said, well, let me show you what information is available and what the evidence says about it and what the arguments are. Oh, jeez! Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Go, Laura. Okay. All right. Jeez Louise. And that, I would have these little mini crises of faith over time until eventually I just noticed the pattern that, I freak out and wonder if my faith is full of crap. I look into the details and realize, oh, no, this is totally solid. And that just kept happening again and again and again to the point where now, when I run into what people would call Bible difficulties, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of weird. That is what's going on there. But it's rarely troubling to me. I've gotten to the point now where it's like, I'm starting to give the Bible the benefit of the doubt, That's the closest I've come, but I mean, again, I wouldn't really call that a true crisis of faith. For whatever reason, God has not taken me through that kind of experience yet.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, and that's where my fear of the unknown kicks in, and I just try to let go of control, and oh man, I didn't know this game was going to involve like thinking. I might not be up for this.
You don't want to play. It's that other game I liked so much. Myst.
No, not right now, for sure.
I liked that game a lot. You know what? I keep thinking I should try again is a Nancy Drew game.
Oh,
Sounds really, really
I've heard good things about
Yeah.
those games. I can't play this game right now. I don't know what to do. Wolfenstein it is.